Hey guys, Ycoms here and welcome back to round number 2 of the F1 Esports League Championship here on F1 2017 round Bahrain. I'm sorry for the delay of this video as I didn't have time whatsoever really after the race and well, in the weekend so far really to, to do anything regarding it, but here we are then, around Bahrain, as I said before, around the Bahrain International Circuit. Pretty good track, I would say. Definitely one of my, favorites. I would even say so, yeah. Although the league race I've had here previously, season 13 on AOR, didn't go too well. So hopefully we can improve on that today and yeah, do a similar performance maybe as we did in China. Not maybe win the race, but just find the pace again we had in practice and yeah, just make a good race hopefully once again, as we're now switching over to qualifying on my final run, as I abandoned that first attempt there on the final run really because it was not a really good one in the first two sectors. As Graham Carroll goes provisional pole, the man who finished P2 obviously last season. That is a very good last race. That was a very good time, as we're now starting our final run here in this qualification, going down into second gear. Almost there now on the exit. That didn't help whatsoever. Definitely cost me half a tenth or something, as the exit otherwise out of turns 2 and 3 was not too bad. Going into turn 4 now, shortly going down to third now, shifting up to fourth again. Pretty good exit out of there, and we are dead on in the first sector to our previous lap. Now coming into the S section, very nicely judged there as well. Late apex here for turn 8 to get the best possible exit, much better than on the previous lap. We are almost 2 tenths up now, as Enzo sets a 27.7. That is a ridiculous lap. I wouldn't have, well, I won't get anywhere near that, I think. But turn 9 to 10, a little bit cautious, I have to say, but not too bad whatsoever. Coming into turn 11, I think that is. 11 and 12, pretty nicely through there as well. Almost a little bit more than 2 tenths up now. Only 2 real corners to go. This is turn 14. Pretty nicely through there, also gaining a little bit more time again, once again on the on my previous best. And into the final corner we go. Exit out of here is very crucial. Touching the curb there on the outside, which gives us a little bit of a snap there, but not too bad at all. What time is it going to be? As it is going to be a 28.1. That is not too bad, I have to say. PB was a 27.9, I think. Sorry, which I was able to do, I think, a couple of times, I think. But not too often, I have to say. So yeah, P4 on the grid. Not too bad whatsoever. The top 3 really good qualifying session, I have to say. Really competitive there up the front. I don't think my PB wouldn't have even be good enough for P3, so definitely P4 was the maximum, I would say. Falcon in P5, that's pretty good to see. Cam, obviously someone I will watch out for in this race, and Olli Pakala as well, who finished second in this race, and obviously those guys who are up in the front in this qualifying session. Yeah, those are the guys basically that we, probably will compete with if we want to go to London, which is obviously, now a possibility after that very good first race. So yeah, we will see what we can do in the race with P4 on the grid. Strategy is pretty, pretty obvious, I would say. One stop, pitting on lap 9 for the mediums. Probably not going to be too bad, too good to be honest, because we already did 2 laps on the soft tires, which is on the super softs in quali, so that's not too good, I have to say. But yeah, we will see how this all will shape up here at Bahrain for round number 2 of this league championship for the F1 Esports series. Here we go. The lights are coming on now. We got 5 lights round Bahrain. And they are trying to get a decent launch. Not really. For example, Cam had a very good start, already side by side with us there, and we have to break a little bit earlier there on the inside. That's Osto, that's Olli Pakala already up into P5. Fantastic start for him. We lost 2 positions already off the start, as Cam had a very bad exit out of turn 2 and 3, and Olli Pakala is going, right past him once again. And we have to settle for P4 for the moment. 4 P6 for the moment. And yeah, not such a good start. That's not gonna help either, I have to say. Not really a, you know, can be quite tricky, that corner with dirty air, especially on the first lap. But now it is all about settling into the race and hopefully recover these positions we lost on the start. Not really ideal, but obviously a long race. I was so far back at the start of China, and look where I ended up, really. Obviously, completely different race today. Strategy will be, you know, pretty much the same for everyone, I would say. I think people who've done the 2-stop last race have now learned from their mistakes and will do differently today. So we definitely don't have, you know, the advantage of this race. As that's Klewutski retired from the session. That's not good. That's not very good, I have to say. He had such an unlucky start to the race at China already. 1 week ago, and now it's his race is already over. Gemma has taken the lead apparently from Enzo, as we are now trying to make a move on Cam here around the outside into turn one. It's going to be very, very tricky to pull off. We're running a little bit too deep maybe, but still side by side here through turn 2 and 3, leaving enough room, but a little bit of a contact there with the side pot. But I think with Cam having the inside, it's going to be very, very tricky for us to make this move stick. Still side by side, a little bit too deep once again for us, and we can't make the move stick on Cam here for the moment. Obviously, this battling is opening up the gap there up the front. Top 4 are pulling away, and it seems like there's quite a big train now behind us. With Falcon in there, then is I think RBK and Ram I think in there as well, so that's definitely going to be interesting. Oop, a little bit of a twitch down through turn 9 and 10, but yeah, obviously aim is now to get past Cam if possible. Really, it's not going to be easy. He's very, very fast, but and as well slipstream without DRS we even have less, you know, gaining on the straight. So it's going to be very, very tricky to make this move here on the next lap, I would say. On the next lap we have a better choice, a better opportunity. That was Enzo sideways. He has left the session, not sure what happened there. Maybe his game crashed or something. That was very, very weird and very unfortunate, I have to say. And oh, but that's Cam going wide. I'm going wide as well. That would have been so good. I've still got a better run though on the straight than Cam did. And now we try to make a move once again. It's going to be in similar fashion than on the previous lap. Can we make it a little bit better? We have a little bit better on the brakes. Not running too deep. A little bit of contact once again. And we are not quite clear here to move over at the exit of turn 2. So I had to leave Cam a little bit more space there once again. And now coming into turn 4 once again, Cam again on the inside. He's later on the brakes this time round, and he's going to defend that position once again. Very good defensive driving from Cam at the moment, which is not going to help us whatsoever. We had a better run throw through these couple of corners, but we can't go up the inside into turn 8, as Cam has defended that position once again. RBK now behind us, which is someone who was looking so promising in qualifying last week, and then obviously his race ended very, very early in China as well. So that's very unfortunate. He's definitely someone who wants to, you know, improve on that performance, definitely. But we really want to concentrate more on Cam here to make that move. So look at the gap to the top 3. Absolutely ridiculous how Graham Carroll, Ollie Pakala and Jan Bullock-Basi have pulled away for the moment. Very close here behind Cam in turn 14, I think that is. And hopefully we can make we can attempt a move once again in turn 1 there, but we're missing the apex for the final corner. We are on the curve there as well for the exit. That's not going to help us. That's going to put us under pressure from RBK now even. So we have to really try to defend that position. We're going defensive up line. He's going to the left. He's going to the right behind us. He's now RBK around the outside into turn 1. He is later on the brakes, very late on the brakes. He runs deep, and there is contact on the exit, and we have been spun around by it, and that is not good whatsoever. That's, you know, one of the main things what I was afraid of, or one of the main things I wanted to avoid this race, but it was not possible. In my opinion, I left enough room, yeah, I took the incident out to the stewards after that, so we will see how that will pans out. Definitely a very, very difficult, you know, thing. So just one of these moments. Should I have left enough more space? How was the corner going into turn 2, etc. So many, you know, things that drivers have to think about in so many. Yeah, in such a short period of time, and yeah, that contact can always happen, I guess, but still I wasn't happy with it whatsoever. So yeah, that is in the panel, I guess, to see how that you know, will work out in the end. But we're now skipping to lap 9. I have to say, also with the tires being quite shot at this moment, I wasn't really getting into the rhythm once again after that spin. So I'm still probably thinking about it too much. You can also see lap time's not really too great, but at the end of that line we're going into the pits, and hopefully on these mediums we can recover a couple of positions, at least getting some points. That is gonna be, you know, now the aim, to get back into the points, getting as many points as possible, to lose as less points as possible to the other contenders, and yeah, just hope that we are still in a very good position for the final race. And that's Jack Balagbazi coming out of the pits in front of us. That's very, very interesting. He had a front wing change actually, because of a contact with Enzo, with Enzo's, you know, disconnecting car basically, which was sideways, obviously standing on the track, which was very unfortunate for Jem as well. So someone who has had a very, very well, just bad luck in that first stint as well. So he is down here with us, really. 1.8 seconds the gap. Definitely he is one of the, you know, one I want to keep track with, I have to say, or just want to, you know, try to yeah, just try to keep with him, as we're now at the end of lap number 11. 2.1 now to Jem. That's Michael rejoining the track very dangerously indeed, and I'm so lucky that I ghosted through that, because that would have been race over. I was my heart was in my mouth when I saw that Ferrari rejoining the track right in front of me. But luckily the game has his ghost function in there, otherwise that would have been an absolute disaster for us. Definitely was very, very, very lucky, I have to say. As now we are skipping to the end of the next lap, as Graham Carroll sets a new fastest lap of the race. He is leading. He's the net leader of the GP at the moment. That's actually, well, Fizzy on the mediums is actually leading the Grand Prix at the moment. That's Tom97 HD having a huge moment out of the final corner after already been off the track before the penultimate corner, and that's gonna give us P12 for the moment. And yeah, not sure how many people will still have to pit in front of us, maybe 2 or 3 or something. So maybe we will be in the points once everyone pitted, but obviously the super soft runners will be there at the end of the race, so we definitely have to be wary of that, as we're now on lap number 15, and we caught up to Johnny John and Cam actually. So Cam not having such a good race at the moment. Well, it was not only because, well, he was definitely not too fast in his first couple of laps, I have to admit, which is why I got so many opportunities to overtake him. But yeah, seems like he's really, really struggling at the moment. I'm not sure if he still has had his stutters or something, which he said he had before the race. So maybe that was something as well, as we're going up the inside of Johnny John here into the final corner. Unorthodox move, I have to say, but I went for it anyway. I don't want to lose any time really anymore. Now it is basically, you know, going flat out on the pace and trying to recover as many positions as possible. What the hell is this? I wonder. Hello, game. Hello. Okay, we're back. We had a screen freeze. Good old screen freeze is back. Not by half a second that we jump forwards then and just spin out of the thing. That would have been interesting as well. But now we've just been stuck on the same part of the track for 7.3 seconds. That is just brilliant. I have to say, that is just brilliant. That I was just like, yeah, sure. If something goes wrong, then everything goes wrong. And that was basically, you know, the definition of everything for me in that race. Only thing that would have still could have happened is obviously a disconnect and something like that, but we don't want to jinx it, I have to say, as we're now down into P13 once again. So all our recovery in the previous 10 laps really hasn't helped whatsoever, as we're now behind Kalon, who's just came out of the pits on super softs, so we can't really ask to stay with him for the moment. And at this point, really, points is the maximum I can achieve, I guess, with P13 at the moment. That's Michael and Max battling on lap 22. We're definitely picking up a little bit of the pace again, as I was a little bit average, I have to say, in this race so far. Pace wise, not too bad obviously, but not that good. That's a big twitch there from Michael, and that's going to give us a position up into P12. And look at that, look at this. Kalon, oh well, Kalon doesn't really count because he's going to probably recover even more positions, but points are not too far away. And now we're now behind Max, which we battled actually with in one of the evaluation races I did, which I also had to recover from after an incident in turn 1. Well, that was basically a screen freeze which spun me out in the end, but anyway, that was quite interesting. So we are meeting Max on the track again. We're trying to get past him once again, hopefully very, very soon, because we don't want to lose time whatsoever in trying to make these passes. We want to get into the points at least, well, even if it's only 1 or 2, still could be very, very beneficial at the end of this whole series. Pretty good exit, well, pretty good final corner there, and I think, no, Max does not have the DRS from the car ahead, so hopefully we can get enough in the slipstream. We are definitely getting quite a bit. That's a whopping Max warping salver there. That's not too good, but we're still going round the outside, and I think Max braked very early there. I don't think he wanted to really I don't know, fight too much, or he just braked early accidental, as he's very close into turn 4, but he's not going up the inside, and that is us up into P11, and points are only roughly 2 seconds ahead of Kalon, who's I think behind Johnny John. But that's a lock up into turn 8. But yeah, that definitely should be possible to catch up to these guys. End of lap 24, end of next lap, and we are now behind Johnny John, who's actually having quite a good race, I have to say, regarding where he finished last week. That is very early from him on the race, I have to say. Maybe also a little bit late from me on myself, but I was definitely caught up by that quite a bit. And I was lucky enough to not lose any end place there, but now probably we are you know, aware that he's braking a little bit earlier. Look at this, how late we were on the brakes there once again. But even had a little bit of a look there up the inside, because he also went deep in all that thing. Oopala, that's wide for both of us actually. Yeah, this dirt here in the S's can really be very, very painful. And now we know Johnny John is braking earlier, so maybe we can capitalize on that later on, as he's also getting the DRS off Cam, so that's not really going to help us. It's going to be even harder to overtake people, you know, who are in the train. Well, obviously have the DRS and the slipstream from the car ahead as well, and with the dirt here we really have to work for the passes even more. So yeah, it's certainly not going to be easy to pass these next couple of cars, because they're all very, very close together. Yeah, and you were able to see, there we go, showing the tire once again, 58%. That is quite high, I have to say. It's definitely higher as I was, you know, normally doing in the practice session or evaluation or whatever. So it's definitely not quite where I want to be. But obviously we were pushing quite hard to get past people, so we are now quite close behind Johnny, but we're not really getting too much in the slipstream. But I think we're gonna try to make a move here up the inside, braking much later, also nearly hitting Cam there, but we managed to slow it down and still leave room there in case Johnny John would still go around the outside of turn 1. And we made that move, stay going defensive here into turn 4 in case he wants to, you know, try to make a pass once again. But we are defending that position, and now we are officially in the points again, which is definitely not too bad whatsoever, considering what happened this race with the incident and also with the massive screen freeze. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. I should mention Graham Carroll still leading the race quite comfortably ahead of Ollie Packard, and maybe RBK in third, maybe? I'm not too sure anymore, but I think at this point he was in P3. So yeah, pretty good race there for RBK as well. Obviously we don't know yet where he will finish in the end, as I don't know either where he'll finish in the end. Not only because I still have the opportunity to make passes, but maybe, you know, maybe I get the fault, I get you know, a penalty in the end. After that incident, we will have to wait and see what happens in the stewards panel, I would say. But that's very wide there from Cam. And it's definitely gonna give us a chance maybe on the next turn. We are quite far back, I have to say. Coming into the final corner, hitting the apex there very nicely. Cam again on the curb there. That's not gonna help him whatsoever. We're having a much better exit into Ridge and opening up the DRS. Can we do anything? Cam is not going defensive here. Why didn't you do that on the first few laps? Just don't go defensive from me, thank you. That would have made the pass a little bit easier, but obviously now he's, I don't know why he didn't go defensive this time, but he didn't. So that's, you know, I take that. So he's pretty close though, still in turn 4, but he's not going up the inside. And up into P9 with only 2.5 laps to go. And I think that's pretty much it, because Kalon, super soft, 2.9 seconds ahead. I don't think that's catchable, but starting the final lap of the race, oh, it's on 70%. Definitely not, or 71% even. I'm not, yeah, that's not really good, as that's Gem and Fizzy actually going side by side there, ahead. So that's Jembolok Basi being in the battle there. Very, very weird, because he was obviously ahead of me, and then I had the screen free, so he should be ahead like by like, I don't know, 9 seconds or something at least, but he actually is battling with Fizzy, and Fizzy made the move stick, obviously Fizzy as well on super softs, so definitely a very, very good race for him. And let's see if Kalon can do anything as well against Gem. Obviously super softs are quite old by now as well, but I think Kalon was the last one to pit, so he maybe has a better chance really to overtake Jemmy, as we had a huge slide there through turn 10, really trying to maximize these corners and, you know, maybe capitalize on any kind of potential mistakes the guys are doing up ahead. But if everything stays like this, we will finish in P9. And Kalon is trying to get alongside Jembolok Basi here. He's slowing down even. Is he going up the inside here? No, he's not quite. Gem is defending. Well, no, Gem's defending that position. He's weaving. He's trying to break the slipstream there. Going defensive into the final corner. Kalon round the outside. He's breaking a little bit later. Kalon going for the switchback. Gem running wide. We are trying to capitalize on it. And this very, very close with Gem towards the line. And I think we have actually made the move stick there. Just about just about P8 there in the end. And yeah, considering all the things that happened, I have to say, very, very, very good race. Good recovery, I guess. Not too bad whatsoever. So, I mean, I can't really, complain about myself, about my driving too much in this race. Apart from the start, that was definitely painful. That would haven't gotten me into that many battles, probably losing the position to Cam there, especially on the start. That was not helpful. But, yeah, other than that, really, I mean, yeah, sometimes just it doesn't go your way, and then you have to just, make the best out of it. And with Cam not scoring any points today, so it's only Graham Carroll and Ollie Packard who finished actually 1-2, who got, well, now overtaken me probably in the standings, which is not too shabby. I guess we should still be in P3. We will see the standings actually in a bit, so I can talk about that later on. That's Falcon in P4. Oh, RPK in 3rd. Falcon in 4th, and Ram in 5th, and Fizzy in 6th. So for these 4 guys, definitely a very good race. Also for Kalon, 7th, getting some decent points after, I think, not scoring any points last week, or was he 9th or something? I'm not too sure anymore. Gem finishing 9th, pretty unlucky for him as well, obviously with the front wing damage in the first stint. Then Johnny John getting his first point of this series. And out of the points this time, Failer maybe one of those who should have gotten maybe points. Normally he's, a little bit further up. Michael as well, who did so well at China. And here we are then, these are the classifications before, well, yeah, not the final classifications after this round, because obviously the Stewards inquiry is has not been dealt with. But at the moment, currently we are still in P3, 9 points ahead of Ram. So that's really, I mean, still, we are in a pretty good position for the final race at Japan, which will be obviously next Wednesday. So if you want to tune into that, just you know, to subscribe to AMR Fizzy, I guess, and you will get a notification once this stream goes up on the Wednesday evening 8 p.m. And hopefully we can have a little bit of a better race than we did today. And yeah, that has been it for the video. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.